Have you ever had this happen to you? Hello, I am Gux. Many people struggle with head-ons in Warthunder. Many people tell you to avoid head-ons, don't full commit. However, nobody follows that rule and decide to full commit in a head-on, and both people lose control and crash into each other. I'm not going to say to avoid head-ons because that's not fun, and video games are about fun, right? Anyway, without further ado, let's get into it. Hey, Editor Gux here. I just wanted to say we are almost at 4,000 watch hours, so help me with that goal of mine. Okay, bye. Despite what Maverick says, head-ons do have a lot to do about the plane, not the pilot, although pilot skill is necessary. For head-ons, there are two qualities about a plane that are good. As a wise vowel man once said, a plane needs to shoot and scoot. The first one is pretty obvious. The plane needs a good cannon or guns. This can either be fast firing, big damage, or both. Some examples I think would be the German 20 mils, M61 Vulcan, and the Head-Ons. They fire pretty fast and do big damage. The second part of shoot and scoot is the scooting part, meaning the plane needs dodging the other person's shots. In a head-on, you need to pull away in order to dodge the opponent's shots. To help with this, it's good if you have a small front profile. What this means is that since you're in a head-on, you're shooting at the front of a plane, and you want the area of the front of your plane to be as small as possible. This is one of the reasons that planes like the A-10 and Su-25 are pretty bad at head-ons, because while they have extremely powerful guns, they cannot dodge, due to them being so big and chunky. One of my favorite things is to pull up to an A-10, dodge all of his rounds, and at the last second pull in and delete him with my Head-Ons in the AV-8C. When people fly planes like the A-10, they think that fast firing equals shotgun, and since they see all these videos of CRAM systems on TikTok. No, bad. Aiming with the A-10 is like aiming a stabilized laser at a drone. It's not hard, but it's also not a shotgun. Also in our example, the drone can just shoot you, so I think it's a pretty good example. Now, some planes that meet both these criteria are firstly the F-104, possibly the best head-on plane in the game. This thing has the smallest possible front profile for the BR, not to mention it has the incredible M61 Vulcan cannon, which fires very fast and does big damage. Now, speaking from personal experience, since I only play America, A4E is pretty fun, as it gets a very nice gun pod and it's a pretty small aircraft. I've also been playing the AV-8C Harrier, which is also quite small, and the Head-Ons absolutely slap. In conclusion, your plane needs a good gun, it needs to be able to dodge, and don't head on F-104s. I'm going to address when to take head-ons. Firstly, when you shouldn't take head-ons. If the enemy is badly damaged, you should not take the head-on. Instead, loop around and dogfight them. Since they're damaged, you can dogfight them and win easily. Second, don't take a head-on if you have a major energy advantage. If you're above your enemy for quite a bit, and they pitch up, do not take that head-on. Instead, you should energy trap them, and when they stall out, pitch down and get the easy shot. If you want more details, watch literally any def and prop video. Now, if we flip that around, take head-ons when damaged severely. Ideally, you want to go back to base and repair, but if the game is about to end or you don't feel like it, or if you're in arcade, do this. Now, for energy, if you have less energy, do not pitch up for the head-on. The player above you has any idea what you're doing, you will get energy trapped and you will die. Take a head-on if you have about the same energy. In conclusion, don't take head-ons with severely damaged enemies, head-on if you're severely damaged, and only take head-ons with about equal energy states. In head-ons, you must account for bullet drop if you're not using vertical targeting. I personally don't use vertical targeting. Even though I've previously stated to turn it off, many people have expressed opinions otherwise. To be honest, just use what you're used to, and you can adapt based on that. If vertical targeting is off, it's simple. Aim above the enemy. How far up you should aim depends on the gun you're using, and this is calculated by essentially bullet drop. One way to tell this is muzzle velocity. If a cannon has a very high muzzle velocity, chances are it won't drop that much. However, it is probably easier to just look at the tracers and see how much the bullets are dropping. You should probably experiment and get that sweet spot. However, with vertical targeting on, when you are more than about 1.5x the vertical targeting distance you set, you should aim above or at the enemy. Anything less than that, you should aim below. This is because the enemy travels towards you, and if you fire directly at them at the vertical targeting distance you set, they will travel forward by the time those rounds actually reach, and the bullets will fly over them. If this doesn't make sense, don't worry, just experiment it and see what works. Now, about when to dodge. Simply stop firing and either pitch to the left or right to up or down once you see them fire. Easy. If you've aimed correctly, they should be dead and you will be alive. In conclusion, experimenting with guns helps, and dodge once you see them shoot. Yeah, I bet you forgot about these. At higher BRs, you can fire missiles in a head-on, and at around 9.0, we start seeing the first true head-on missiles coming in with the AIM-7C and the R3R, with the R3 being the better of the two. Both of these are semi-active radar missiles, or SAR, and can be chaffed if your plane has that, or blown out of the sky with an AIM-9B. Yes, that is possible. Trust me, I've done it before in an F-104, and you know that's true because it rhymes. Okay, not really, but anyway. Heat-seeking missiles in a head-on are relatively easy to flare, since you're less hot from the front. Usually dropping some flares and rolling around should do the trick. To be perfectly honest, I do not have top tier, and have no experience with AMRAAMs head-on. Some ways of avoiding them are notching and multipathing them into the ground as far as I know, and at top tier, all of this gets thrown out of the window with BVR combat. Just launch a 9M or R73 at their face and hope they die. In conclusion, chaff/flare incoming head-on missiles, and for top tier, go watch some other channel, I got no clue. That's the video. Please subscribe at 1,000 subs and I'll play blindfolded Warthunder. Please, 4,000 watch hours, me happy. Yes, hopefully help. If not, comment below tips.